and Celia, I welcome you and thank you for being here today. They are thrilled that you're here to share in their joy on this most important of days in their lives. I am Mandy St. Germain, a humanist officiant licensed by the Province of Ontario to solemnize marriages. We are gathered in this beautiful setting to witness the joining in marriage of Joey and Celia. They have asked all of you to be here today because each of you has given something of yourself into their lives. Your friendship and love will always be appreciated and cherished. Thank you for continuing to give of yourselves in being here today. Unfortunately, there are many loved ones who couldn't be here with us today because of distance and travel. Celia's dad, Luis Toja, in Ecuador, Babsha, Joey's maternal grandmother in England, Chacha Stella, Babsha's sister, and Joey's great aunt, who are closer to home here in Barrie. There are also ancestors who aren't here with us today, but are here with us in spirit. Grandpa Pyro and Jaja, Joey's grandfathers, whom he was very fond of, and Philip, Joey's first cousin, who sadly passed last year. May we carry all of them in our hearts as we celebrate together today. After 5 years of loving each other, today is the day that Joey and Celia have chosen to make their formal commitment to each other in front of each of you. The pandemic has reminded them of just how important life celebrations are. They feel that this is the exact right time for them to take this next step together. Each of us knows that a marriage is not created by a law or ceremony. Rather, it occurs in the hearts of two human beings. It grows out of loving, caring, and sharing with another. And so it is that you have connected your hearts and souls one to the other, drawn upon the depths of your being into the realm of human need, to live united, loving, and complete. So, in witnessing this ceremony today, we are observing only an outward sign of an inward union that already exists between you. Today, you have come before to affirm your love, to promise to nurture yourselves, each other, in this union, and to acknowledge its centrality in your lives. You do so knowing marriage is at once the most tender, profound, and all relationships in life. When two people meet and share their true selves freely, a special union begins. And when it is two naturally kindred spirits who meet, they intuitively recognize each other and their kinship one's life. Marriage is the essence of human relationships. It challenges us to be of one accord without abandoning the truth over individuality. It challenges us to not lose ourselves in one another, but rather to walk side by side, heading in the same direction. Joey and Celia share the gifts of your friendship, humor, vulnerability, sensitivity, and kindness. Be sure to find ways each day to protect, affirm, and support each other. Today, Joey and Celia, your large extended family, form a circle of love around you as you enter into marriage. To last, your marriage must be a commitment of love to each other and a growth to the wider community of which you are a part. That community starts with each and every one of you, their loved ones. Further, after marriage, Joey and Celia have gathered you around them, forming their community of love and support as they continue their lives together as marriage partners. Collectively, you represent the families, friends, and traditions that have brought Joey and Celia to this point in their lives. In a moment, I will ask you all a question, and I hope you will respond, yes, we do. As part of the community that surrounds Joey and Celia, do you offer your love and support to strengthen their marriage and honor this family being committed to by this beautiful union?
Yes, we do.
Great, thank you. Let us all remember today and always that there is nothing more important than loving one another. At this time, I'd like to introduce Joey's niece, who's going to say a special poem, How Falling in Love is Like Owning a Dog.
How falling in love is like owning a dog. First of all, it's a big responsibility, especially in a city like New York. So think long and hard before deciding on love. On the other hand, love gives you a sense of security. When you're walking down the street late at night and you have a leash on love, no one is going to mess with you, because crooks and muggers will think love is unpredictable. Who knows what love could do in its own defense? On cold winter nights, love is warm. It lies between you and lives and breathes and makes funny noises. Love wakes you up all hours of the night with its needs. It needs to be fed so it will grow and stay healthy. Love doesn't like being left alone for long, but come home and love is always happy to see you. It may break a few things and accidentally in its passion for life, but you can never be mad at love for long. Is love good all the time? No. Can love be bad? Bad love, bad. Very bad love. Love makes messes. Love leaves you little surprises here and there. Love needs lots of cleaning up after. Sometimes you just want to get love fixed. Sometimes you want to roll up a piece of newspaper and swat love on the nose. Not so much to cause pain, just to let love know, don't ever do that again. Sometimes love just wants to go out for a nice long walk because love needs exercise. It will run you around the block and leave you panting, breathless. Pull you in different directions at once, or wind itself around and around until you're all wound up and you cannot move. But love makes you meet people wherever you go, people who have nothing in common but love. Stop and talk to each other on the street. Throw things away and love will bring them back, again and again and again. But most of all, love needs love, lots of it, and in return, love loves you and never stops.
Joey, would you please repeat after me? I do solemnly declare that I do not know of any lawful impediment why I, Joey, may not be joined in matrimony to Celia. I call upon these persons here present to witness that I, Joey, do take you, Celia, to be my lawful wedded wife. Be my lawful to be my lawful wedded. Celia, I do solemnly declare that I do any lawful impediment why I, Celia, may not be joined in matrimony to you, Joey. I call upon these persons here present to witness Celia, do take you, Joey, to be my lawful wedded husband. Very good. Thank you. I'll just ask you a vow now. Do you, Joey, choose Celia to be your beloved wife, and do you promise to love, honor, and cherish her always? Do you, Celia, choose Joey to be your beloved husband, and do you promise to love, honor, and cherish him always? It's time. Rings.
So you guys have it?
What a big thing. Very good. So you take this one, Joey. Let's put it on Celia's. Yeah. I give you this ring as a symbol of all my love for you. I give you this ring as a symbol of all my love for you. Sorry. Joey and Celia, on behalf of your lovers who are here with us today, I would like to mention some of the things we wish for you. We wish for you a home that will continue to be your sanctuary, a place of peace, freedom, vitality, kindness, humor, and love. We wish for you a community of family and friends to share and witness the ups and downs. And at the end of your days, a very, very long time away from today, we wish that you will look back on
the life that you have created together, and you will have loved loving each other.
Joey and Celia,
You have chosen
each other
in friendship. You have pledged your vows to each other.
and you have exchanged rings.
Therefore, by the powers vested in me by the Marriage Act, I pronounce you to be husband and wife. Thank you.
All it takes is just a little faith. No one ever taught me how to pray. I'm on my knees now, God, for goodness sake. Just tell me what it is I need to say. I'd go anywhere for days like these. I'd do anything just to stay right here. 26 years on, and nothing's changed. You say it's 'cause our lives that we arranged. Thought we'd fall in love or settle down. Weren't here the last time, and I looked around. I'd go anywhere for days like these. I'd do anything just to stay right here. I'd go anywhere for days like these. I'd do anything just to stay right here. I'll give you everything. Give you every piece of me. You just wait.
In the back there. Were you putting up the? Yeah. Beautiful. All right, let me see if I can see everyone. I think we're good, okay? So everyone, big smiles looking at me. And now I want our couple to kiss, and I want everyone to throw an arm up and go, woo! 1, 2, 3! Woo! Gorgeous.
So this next song is dedicated to Celia.
pleasure to extend to this really extraordinary assembly of people a heartfelt welcome in the celebration of Joey and Celia's wedding day, because it's been a long time coming. And it's with a sense of relief. Bienvenidos todos, especialmente a la familia de Celia, por venir de tan lejos a celebrar este día. Just so you know, and some of you have already met and talked, but Celia's mother, Angela, right here, and family members are at tables 3 and 4 right here. Okay? So I am told by Celia that it maybe is 10 years or more since they've all been together. So this is very, very good. In the course of the evening, I do invite all of you to come over, if you haven't already, and introduce yourselves so that we all feel at home among this, what I consider a very interesting and eclectic group of people that Joey and Celia have brought together to celebrate this special day. It is my sincere wish that for the next few hours at least, everyone is able to push their cares and worries aside and make the most of what is a rare opportunity to just enjoy the moment. It is in this spirit that I penned and produced these thoughts. The executive producer, however, was Helena, my wife. And so I have been carefully edited. Okay, severely edited. But it's no doubt for the best. Anyway, that's why I wrote 2 versions. But whatever version it is, my unique honor to be asked to speak first today. But I sense it's less a matter of protocol than the fact that after 5 minutes of listening to me, most people, even those who normally abstain, are overcome with a profound urge to consume alcohol. Which, as it turns out, is just as well, as I will soon be asking you to raise a glass for the first toast of the evening. As father of the groom, I will make a comment or 2 about Joey. But as we learned earlier, Celia's father, Luis, lives in Ecuador and obviously was unable to be here today to personally say a few words about his daughter. So I would be remiss if I did not do what I could to do him proud, which no doubt he surely is. Joey introduced Celia to Helena and me about 5 years ago, and in the months and years that followed, she was gradually introduced to the extended family and Joey's lifelong friends. And she married him anyway. Helena didn't catch that one. Anyway, all teasing aside, in truth, it's been obvious from the beginning that Celia and Joey, as a couple, are quite truly meant to be. Soulmates, complementary in temperament, best friends, and quite fittingly as of today, husband and wife. A true team of 2 ready to take on the world, and the world is truly a better place for it. As a child, Joey was very much the Energizer Bunny. Always on the go. Always on the go. Always dedicated and disciplined to set lofty goals and then do whatever it took to achieve them. Whether it was a paper route, a baseball team, weightlifting, boxing, bodybuilding, music, academic pursuits, and of course in a professional capacity in all things fitness. Despite his accomplishments, however, I think it's safe to say Joey never seemed complete until he met Celia. Celia is always positive in outlook, and elevates the mood of anyone and everyone around her. She clearly enriches Joey's life and ours, well beyond the fact that she is a talented chef and in her own right. And we have made a habit of faithfully devouring her culinary masterpiece. In short, Celia's easygoing, can-do, no problem approach to life stands out in everything she does. Consequently, time spent with her is filled with hope and promise. A pretty damn good foundation on which to build a rewarding and exciting life together. And Joey knows and appreciates this. The secret to a successful marriage? I haven't got a clue. Maybe that's why it's a secret. But if a couple have, anyway, but I think if any couple can manage it to unravel this eternal mystery, it clearly is Joey and Celia. And you have the rest of your lives to puzzle it out. Just remember to have some fun along the way. So now, I think enough said, and others will be speaking as well on their behalf. I would like us to stand and propose the toast. To Joey and Celia on their first day as husband and wife. Cheers. Cheers.
Okay, so as I mentioned, a couple quick speeches, myself, Dwayne, and then Joey. So with that, we'll get started. I just thought I'd start with Celia. Joey's important, but he's not that important. Celia, Joey, I remember the first time he started kind of mentioning you and talking about you, and I still remember the first time I met you. It was, getting together with you guys, it was amazing, and just this warmth and this welcoming person that you are, this great atmosphere, you just connect with people right away. And that's just something that I noticed about you right away. As time passed, different trips back, coming back to visit you guys, more and more time to get to know each other, and just, again, having a lot of fun, having some laughs, but what I really appreciate about you the most is the ability to just connect and talk about the real things in life. And, we were just discussing this at the table, and we've had some great conversations this week. The other thing too with Celia, and there's going to be a bit of a theme here I think you're going to find, but the other thing with Celia as well, really big into personal development, right? Always looking for ways to, improve herself, right? We want to be the best version of ourselves, and it's contagious. So I appreciate the resources that we've talked about over the years that we shared this week, but you're an amazing person, and you're just so easy to be with and connect with, and I really want you to get that, and that means a lot. So, we move into Joey, and I think before we get to Joey, again, somewhat important here today, but I want to talk a little bit about the family first, because I think that has a lot to do with, who Joey is in the world for people. And I'd start with Anthony and Roseanne, and I was lucky enough to grow up with Joey, meeting in grade 4. Sorry. I guess that's dead. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yeah. You sound great, Mike.
Yeah, perfect.
Good.
So, I'm not sure we were a bit of a loop. So anyway, sorry. So, meeting Joey in grade 4, I had the privilege of being around the family, and like I said, Roseanne and Anthony, who, Joey also calls them Squid, just so you guys know. Being around them, they actually have their own language, so they call it the Bozer language. So maybe that's a bit embarrassing now as adults, but I found the camaraderie and just, the way they used to tease each other, it was a lot of fun. So there's definitely a really strong bond there, with the siblings, and it's just enjoyable to be around. And then we get into Michael and Helena, and again, growing up from a young age, you guys were fantastic people. Joey's parents' house, thanks, Jeff. Joey's parents' house, well, maybe they didn't always enjoy it. It was a place for us to get together, but it was a place where maybe we weren't always on our best behavior, but it was a place where we felt safe, and we really felt loved. We really did. And about the email I sent you a few years back, and I meant every bit of that. You guys are amazing people, and want to thank you for that. So you weren't just parents, to this great family, but to many of us. So thank you for that. Yeah, I love you guys too. So with that, I kind of think about Joey, and you know, when we were young, when we met, bit of a goofy guy. I think most of you know that. And you know, grade 6, I can remember this. And this kind of became his calling card. We did sex ed, and whenever the word penis came up, he would laugh and stare at me. Like, look at him now. He's an adult. He's on his wedding night, but he's just still grinning penis. We gotta talk about it. It's a reality. So that kind of became his calling card. And then, you know, as we got older, you know, he was a bit of a goofball. I can remember walking home. You know, he had to pass my mom's house on the way when we walked home from school, and sometimes he'd just throw garbage on our front lawn in the ditch and just laugh. And my mom would be like, "Why is he leaving garbage?" And that's just Joey. It's funny. This is how he is. You know, so then you grow up. You know, you go through those ups and downs of life, and you get into teenage years, and even as a young adult. And the thing with Joey, you know, we all have things, and I'm sure you guys could probably all speak to your own examples. But you know, Joey, you've been there with me through many things, and you're always in my corner, and it means so much. And I know you know that, but it means so much. I love you for it. So, sorry guys, just give me a second here. Gotta reel it in. And then really what that is to Joey, and again, who he is in the world for people. I mean, you guys know he's a personal trainer, and you know, but what exactly does that, what does that mean? I think most of us know, but the real thing that people need to understand is he changes people's lives. And I know it, and I've seen it, and we've talked about it. He really has an impact. He helps people who are maybe stuck to move through that, to take on change, which takes courage, and he helps people find that courage, and takes them through that process. And you know, it's the health and wellness, yes, it's the nutrition and all that, Joey. You change people's lives, and that's what you need to get. Same as I said to you, Celia, you guys need to get that about yourselves and how important that is and how you show up in the world. You know, it's amazing. You know, and then the last thing I would say with Joey too is it's not just about that. It's about always, again, much like Celia, and this is the theme coming together, is personal development. And Joey has, again, shared resources and had people go through things that are life-changing. The things that he's discovered, and is always sharing out and always trying to, like, it's great to have somebody who's there to push you to be the best version of yourself, and that's what he does, and that's the most important thing above all. And that's who Joey is in the world. So, guys, I mean, when I look at that, it's kind of what Michael was talking about earlier. When you have that ability to always sort of, I don't like the word challenge, but whatever, I guess I'll use it. But to challenge each other to sort of be the best version and always looking to be better. That's just a recipe for success. And it's just, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It catches on. And I really love that about you guys. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm happy to be here. It's a privilege to be here, not just at the wedding, but to have the opportunity to stand up here in front of everybody and speak on their behalf and how much we love you guys. So just thank you. Yeah, enjoy this evening.
All right. Well, I'm glad I don't have to follow up that. Really well said, Mike. I have a few themes that would be similar, but I think I'll shorten it down because I'll just be repetitive. Mike has very well spoken, and rings very true. So, but I will reiterate, Helena and Michael, like, your open doors. Again, maybe not as always at the right time of the evening, say 2 or 3 in the morning. Maybe not the time, but so welcoming and loving, having everyone there. I met Joey about 20 years ago when he was dressed kind of similar for a job interview at a baseboard. Big, goofy smile. And he was all in. That all-in energy was there right from day one. So much so, he almost was fired his first week. Because it's a long story, but he basically broke a big piece of equipment at the gym. 10 grand in his first week. But they kept him. He must have put some of that charm on. But it was like, who is this guy? And now, 20 years later, standing up here, having the opportunity to go through life together and share many things. And kind of like Mike said, the growth that he puts in people and in yourself, and then also the ability to have a good time and a laugh. Where's Rosanna? So I think if Rosanna was a betting woman, she might have thought this would be Joey and I at some point. Because we had some adventures over the years where there were some pictures of us, Joey and I, say, on the Sea-Doo together, or maybe giving an impression that we might have been a couple. And the big tip-off, Rosanna, was probably Joey and I took a trip to Spain together. So I was overseas, and Joey came and met me in Spain. And we had a great time. It was lovely. But the most important part of that trip is that's when I heard about Celia. And Joey and I had multiple heart-to-hearts during that trip of how excited he was to have met this woman and how much energy and happiness that he, just in a short amount of time, because I think it was only a week or two that you had met. But he was so excited to get home and follow up and see. And I think there's a bit of a debate of who asked who out or how that occurred, but that's a story for them to tell. So, having known Celia now for 5 years, and again, Mike, I'll cover similar themes like the open doors in your home to have us there, and accepting and just being kind, generous people without being too emotional about it. Like that generosity and kindness is amazing. So it's a pleasure and a privilege to be here, as Mike said, to get to speak and stand up in front of everyone and say that I'm very proud to be your friend and to be able to speak today. So I'll close it out there.
So we just started out some words planned to say, but Celia's just going to join me because I'm saying some thank yous and she's a bit shy, so it's kind of from both of us. So, however, I wanted to start out by addressing the elephant in the room first, and that is why it took so darn long for this day to finally come. I actually have a very simple explanation for you. It's genetic. As my cousin Mark pointed out, when I broke him the news, he said, "Congratulations, you're the first solo male to get hitched since 1980. I'm also convinced this genetic flaw explains my inability to dance and express words of affection. Fortunately, both of which are on full display for your entertainment tonight. For additional entertainment, I will also attempt to say a few things in Spanish for Celia's family. She doesn't know that. But don't worry, I've been practicing every time I go to a Mexican restaurant when I order my jalapeno quesadillas and Jamaican tortillas. So, on to the thank yous, and of course, this is from both of us here. So, that said, before I mention the thank yous, I thought it would be interesting to mention the historical origins of some of the wedding traditions from today. Of course, my historical anchor point is from Roman times, when marriage was not voluntary. The bridesmaids, thank you. For instance, the tradition of having bridesmaids dressed similar to the bride began as a way to confuse evil spirits to prevent them from finding the bride on her wedding day and cursing the marriage. Yeah. This is actually valuable information for me. So now I know if we hit a rough patch, it's not me. But the girls didn't do their job fending off the evil spirits. The groomsmen. Apparently groomsmen weren't necessarily the groom's best friend or closest male relatives. Rather, they were employed to help the groom with kidnapping the bride. At that time, groomsmen were called bride knights, and they would be called upon to kidnap the bride and then stand watch during the ceremony so the bride's angry family couldn't thwart the ceremony. The groomsman who proved most successful in kidnapping or best at wielding a sword was referred to as the best man. So I'm not sure what's scarier, Celia being kidnapped or trusting Dwayne or Mike with more than a dull butter knife. How to speak that in. Okay, thanks to my brother, as we mentioned, the beer's from him. It's homemade beer, so thanks again for that. On a British historical note, apparently the word bridal actually comes from the term bride ale, which refers to a special beer brewed just for the wedding. Given all the arranged marriages at the time, I wonder if this also explains the term drink till she's cute. I thought it was. Yep, it's all it counts. Okay, more serious stuff now. So, years. I am extremely lucky to have parents as engaged and caring as you are in my life. In the highs like today, and in some of the lows of growing up, like the decade of drunkenness and chaos my friends and I put you through. I know you are always there for me. And then also an extra thanks for their efforts helping organize today. Mi nueva familia, aunque no he estado cerca de ustedes a menudo ni hemos interactuado tanto como me gustaría debido a la barrera del idioma, y estoy trabajando en ello. Estar cerca de ustedes sigue siendo tan acogedor y cálido como estar en casa. To my new family, I said, even though we haven't been around each other often or interacted with you as much as I'd like to because of the language barrier, being around you still feels as welcoming and warm as being at home. Ahora, al mejor del momento, Celia. So now on to the woman of the hour, Celia. So for those that don't know Celia that well, I wanted to start off with a little background about us. The universe brought us together when Celia took a fitness course I was teaching. We began dating a couple months later. Things moved fairly quickly as everything seemed to just click between us. Within 6 months, we went from seeing each other almost every day to a 3-week vacation in the UK to moving in together. However, sometimes there's a definitive moment, like a lightning bolt that strikes you saying that she's the one. For me, that moment hit me on my birthday when I opened up a gift from Celia. It was a new set of bed sheets displaying a giant cartoon boxer doll. Basically something that you would gift a 4-year-old. That's the instant I knew that she really gets me. And not only does she accept my static state of immaturity, but she's willing to enable it. As you can see, this scenario also displays how humor is one of the binding threads that connects us. However, what makes her a person I just want to be around all the time is her ability to live in the moment and enjoy simple things life has to offer. I'm not sure if she gets this from her parents or if it's a cultural thing, but it seems she can extract joy from almost any ordinary moment. Like the way she dances in the kitchen while cooking, to how she engages with Lupe like two children lost in play, or when she sings along with my record player the song she's hearing for the first time. However, for those that have spent any time at all with Celia, know that her most telling quality is her caring nature towards others. Celia prioritizes others first and makes sure everyone around her is taken care of, especially when it comes to her family. And although the descriptors of Celia are incomplete and only partially represented by my words, they do add up to one certainty for me, and that is the good content life has to offer has more depth and breadth since we met. From the small moments we share, like joking around while doing house chores together, to the more pinnacle moments like buying our first home or picking up Lupe as a puppy. Basically, every moment has become more valuable and more colorful with you by my side. Y espero disfruto de todos nuestros días futuros juntos, incluidos todos los momentos grandes y pequeños, brindemos por Celia. And I look forward to enjoying all the future days together, including all moments, big and small. Cheers to Celia.